Hi, welcome. Happy holidays. If you're in the States, it's around like Thanksgiving time. I wanted to do a quick video, talk about sort of the things that we're doing from yesterday. It's kind of a continuation. Only this time we're looking at state machines. So how do we structure things for creating a sale? And what does the state look like? And then how do we go about the purchasing process? So this is just a way or a technique that I use, and some other people use as well, to like sort of organize like the thinking about what could happen. And so this is just like an X state visualizer. And so X state allows you to create a state machine. So here's the state machine that represents the item on the screen. It's a little bit big, or maybe the auto rendering could be a little bit better, but it's really useful for being able to visualize the states and to kind of like step through what you think will happen. What I have here is we're just going to reset. We're going to be at the very beginning to say the idle state. The user does this thing called check deposit. And so check deposit, actually, I'm going to pause for a second and just shut my window. You can see a little bit of the universe I live in. Okay, cool. So, going back, going back, going back. Please don't get dizzy. Cool. So what I have right here is the state machine. And so check deposit is actually saying check for the storage deposit. And so the storage deposit is the thing that you use within the Near ecosystem to pay for storage on the blockchain. So it's like state rent. So for every variable you create, you've got to pay for it. So we want to make sure that the person has like sort of staked those tokens that the contract will hold and can cover the cost of creating a sale. Because a sale, maybe I can pull that up, is looking like, let's see, I go here, sale. All right, so sale is basically looking like these sales conditions that we talked about in previous like sort of episodes, where it basically takes a token ID or it takes a contract account, and then it gives you this metadata filter, which has all of the things like a token ID regex, particular metadata and receiver and all that stuff. But this data structure needs to be stored, and so it needs to be paid for. And so that's what this state does. So here, once we check to make sure the person's had a deposit, this is just the message that you send. So we're going to say, send check deposit state transition. So now we're in the checking deposit state. So we're just going to check to make sure that the balance is not empty. And so if that works for us, then we can go to creating sale. If not, we'll go to creating deposit. So here, this means that we're going to have to calculate how much does the user want. So we're going to take whatever the user like thinks as like a sale, that object that's whatever in like the React app or on the front end, and we're going to calculate how much it takes to store versus how much the user may have already paid into the system. And so we'll create a deposit. If that's successful, we'll go back into check deposit. We'll go back into check deposit either way. So we'll resolve, we go back to check deposit. Now that we've checked the deposit, it's all good. We can go into creating a sale. Now that we go into creating a sale, we're like, cool. Now we've got all the objects. We're ready to start approving NFTs for sale. So we approve the NFT. We're in the approving state. So now on the smart contract side, we're in NFT on approve, and this could be rejected for whatever reason. And then we'd have to go back to create sale to try and approve it again, or change the parameters. Or we can go to resolve, which ends this whole like creating a sale or creating a listing, more or less. So we'll go reject, cool, we'll approve, we'll resolve, and we're at our terminal state, which is pretty cool. It kind of just steps us through all the stuff. And here we can see all the states we went through. with the check to deposit was rejected, we resolved, etc. And then we can click on the states as well. Do some actions. Okay, so this was creating a sale. Let's look at purchase. So purchase is a little bit more complicated. So on one end, like we're not going to necessarily launch with this feature, but what you can do is you can request multiple NFTs for your one NFT or for your multiple NFTs. So it's going to be many to many. And so the state machine for that looks kind of like this. So here we're going to do the same storage deposit, like checking. We're going to say, cool, we're checking the deposit. We don't need to reject because we've done this before. We're just going to say resolve. So now it's going to take us to this approving offer state. So now you, as the person that is creating the NFT, well, not creating the NFT, that wants to get on the opposite end of the NFT, you basically have to say, like, oh, okay, marketplace, you too can take my NFT. So we actually have a design choice here. So one, we could make it such that the users just immediately transfer the NFT to our slot. But because there could be multiple NFTs involved, it kind of makes sense to have approve NFT. And then on the final NFT from the offer, maybe having a seal where you say, okay, all of these NFTs, the marketplace can swap at any time. It has access to it. So we can also do things like check is approved. And so if we have all three of the items for the offer approved, then we can go ahead and kick off the transfer. So here, we're going to approve the NFT. Let's say approving NFT. So we can resolve. It'll check the offer to say like, oh, are there more NFTs? There are. Let's say we're going to swap for 2. So we'll resolve again. It's going to check for offer. And then we're going to say, okay, complete. And so in this complete transition, this is where we'll swap the NFTs because the marketplace has the NFT and can call transfer on the complete offer and vice versa. So everyone, the marketplace has access to everything and now can do the swaps. Okay, so that was pretty much a pretty good dive for today, and it's a holiday, so I will be back on Monday. Happy Thanksgiving, happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Yeah, let's have a good time. I have no clue how to stop recording. Stop.